Well, hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the latest Sofa Sports webcast, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So you see us together, Patrick and Charles, and the Final Four is set for both the men and the women.
Dude,
So,
what do
so,
we get? Three?
huh?
How many did you get? You got three, right?
Two.
Two.
Yeah.
I think I got two too. Then
Yeah,
I didn't even check it. After Florida lost, I was like,
yeah. You just want to watch a good game. It's fine.
yeah, that's all I could do.
So on the men's side, you have UConn, Illinois, Michigan, and Arizona. Arizona coming out of the West, Michigan coming out of the Midwest, UConn coming out of the East, and Illinois coming out of the South region. UConn's win over Duke. That was I don't know what Duke was doing down the stretch, but what's going on, Aaron? he said he said you had Chip and Joanna Gaines come through and
Yeah, why not? Had to move the setup.
Good to see you in, Aaron. And you caught us just in time as we're talking about the men's and women's Final Four. UConn hit a buzzer beater really to take Duke out. And the one thing that has bothered Duke in their three losses this year was blown leads. Blew a huge lead to Texas Tech, blew a huge lead to North Carolina, and they blew a huge lead in the Elite Eight here against UConn. And UConn's one of those teams. There's still a little bit of the championship pedigree that was there from the teams that won in 23-24. You still have Dan Hurley there. You have to take them out if you're going to finish them. Let's see. Aaron said, I had Arizona over Duke, but I won a bracket challenge pool for the first time ever.
I did not. Florida messed me up on mine.
Yeah, me too, man. So,
Well, I say that, but my downfall really started when my team screwed me over.
oh,
That's when it started. Georgia lost to St. Louis, and then it was just downhill after that.
yeah. Well, hey, I had a tough loss too. Purdue beat us in the final seconds there in the Sweet 16.
Dude, you made it to the Sweet 16. Dude, Georgia's never even gotten out of the first round. Oh, and speaking of Georgia,
Yes.
did you hear what they did?
No. What did they do?
Dude, this is exciting. This is exciting news in Georgia. We hired Tiger Woods.
Ain't he about to go to jail?
He's about to go to jail because of all of his DUIs. So we hired him. We gave him a job.
You're already giving him a job before he.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a job because man, he's got to show us how to do it right.
I love it. Aaron, I can't even get the sentence out. That's funny. But look, Tiger didn't even. It wasn't really drinking. Apparently, his stuff was pills.
DUI is a DUI, and the way we look at it in Georgia, tomato.
Tiger needs to stay away from vehicles too.
Tiger better stay out of Georgia altogether because he's gonna feel right at home.
Aaron says Northwestern basketball is better than Georgia basketball. Hashtag Cove. Speaking of hashtags, yes, a hashtag episode has to come on back. So we'll put that in the plans as well.
Dude, you know I'm ready.
Of course, yes.
I'll be coming up with hashtags off of that. Good.
But so yeah, the men's Final Four is gonna be in Indianapolis starting this weekend. And again, the matchups are Illinois and UConn, and in the second game it'll be Michigan and Arizona. Over on the women's side, you have the same Final Four that you had last year.
Surprise.
Yeah. UConn, UCLA. What's up with you? UConn is basketball royalty, man. Goodness gracious. So you got UConn.
God, when's the last time they haven't made a Final Four?
I know on the women's side, I don't know.
Yeah. I can't think.
But you have UConn.
Dude, I'm gonna have to here. Look, I'll look it up.
You have UConn, UCLA, Texas, and South Carolina is back as well. So the same exact Final Four from last year, a little bit of a different order. UConn is your overall number 1 seed, and they'll play South Carolina in the semis, and UCLA will play Texas. Aaron is saying, "Thank God Kim Mulkey isn't there again." He's not a fan of Kim Mulkey. She seems.
Oh, dude, UConn. It was recent, dude. 2022.
I mean, it's still 4 years straight that you make the Final Four.
I know, but I mean,
no, I'm not hating on your comment, but that just tells you how great they
it just seems like they've made it for the past 30 years.
Right.
The way they play, I mean, it's just here. Let me put before 2022.
All right. Yeah, Kim Mulkey, of course, now she's the coach for LSU as well, and before she was the coach at Baylor. But Duke actually knocked LSU out on a buzzer beater of their own, and that was in the Sweet 16. So
okay, that's what it was. So they didn't. So they have been in the Final Four every year since 2007, except for 2021 and 2022. So 18 years out of 20, they have been they've been in the Final Four. Jeez. But there you go. There's your pedigree.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, they've been
now, how many championships have they had since 2007?
I'm gonna take a guess and say,
dude. Okay, so this is our quiz show today. Just so you know,
12 or 13. I believe they have. It could be more, but I want to say it's around. I'll say between 12 and 14.
So 13 then. Give me a number.
Sure, 13. Because I mean, all the players that then came through there, from Taurasi, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Maya Moore, just to name a few.
I'll give it to you. 12.
See, 12. That's why I said between 12 and 14. And 12 and 14 was included in that too. So if it was 12, then yeah, got it. I'm giving myself credit.
Of course you will.
But yeah, so 12 titles and can win a 13th.
Yep.
But it just says a lot about the sustained excellence that Gino Auriemma has put together there. And look, I mean, he's got to be up there with the best coaches to ever do it in any sport. Has to. I mean,
has to be. Especially in basketball. I
mean, so yeah, I mean, but I think both Final Fours on the men's and women's sides there, I think they're both going to be pretty good, and the teams seem pretty evenly matched to me. I mean, you have all 4 number 1 seeds on the women's side, and in the men's, I mean, I think Illinois and Connecticut, I think they're capable of winning. Now, do I think Arizona is better? Yeah, I mean, I think Arizona is I would say they're the favorite, but that's going to be a pretty good game with them in Michigan.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had Arizona. I mean, I had Arizona in the final game against Florida.
Mm-hmm. What's happening? Can we point it out? Can we point it out on live?
No.
No. Okay. Is Brantley doing something?
Yeah.
I knew it. I know it. Tell Brantley I said what's up too. If he can hear me.
No, he took off running.
Oh dang. I started, but yeah, I think the Arizona Michigan game is going to be good, and the Illinois UConn game is going to be good as well. And over on the women's side, I just think you got two bangers coming up with UCLA and Texas and UConn and South Carolina. I think those teams are pretty evenly matched. I'm sure Connecticut's the favorite. They were the number 1 overall seed over there. But if I'm rooting for us, of course. But if any one of those other teams, South Carolina or UCLA, won it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, South Carolina, they seem to make it to a Final Four pretty regularly too, since Dawn Staley's been the coach.
Yeah.
So yep, you have the most annoyed look right now.
Well, so okay, so I got two 50-inch wide-inch monitors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to look at one end, I have to look this way. If I want to look at the other end, it's this way. I don't know if I like it because that's a lot of neck movement. I used to have them stacked. Yeah, I'm having to look around. Like, it really feel like I'm in a.
Oh boy! Well,
so I am kind of annoyed with it. Maybe I don't know. I haven't really decided how annoyed I am yet.
So,
I'm thinking about it.
So with the men's and women's Final Four coming up, this is the road, the end of the road here, and by the time we come on next week, we'll be congratulating both of the winners. So get to catch those games, enjoy them, because I think they'll be pretty good games on each side. Well, Patrick, let's get into some Major League Baseball. So of course, season started on Thursday, Wednesday night with the Yankees and Giants, and here we are, first week. We're going to get into some of the stuff with the ABS system in a moment, but this is a public service announcement because I think it is needed in terms of how you are going to catch these games. So you remember Aaron had pointed out what it was costing a month to get MLB TV, and it was somewhere, what was it, $19.99 or something like that?
Yeah, like $20 a month, or you can pay it all up front, and it'd be like $250 for the season or something.
Okay, so a couple of things here, and I say this because I'm in one of the markets here in DC where their team is the team's games are being produced by Major League Baseball. So with that in mind, two key things need to be remembered with this. One, whoever your cable and internet provider is, they have something for you there. So for an example, I'm over here. The Cubs, the Nationals played in Chicago against the Cubs for the first game. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking for it, and I couldn't find it. Couldn't find the channel. And then, which is going to get to my second point, I was able to find the channel. But the cable provider, if you are in one of those markets, whether it is Xfinity, which that's who I have, Xfinity, or any of the other ones, we don't get paid for any endorsements. But if you want to hook us up, you go ahead. But whether you have Xfinity or Verizon Fios or DirecTV, Cox, whichever one, if you're in that market, there's still a way you can watch that game without having to go to MLB TV and catch your local team. That's one thing. So one, check with the cable providers. Two, call out your teams. And here's why I say call out the teams. So I'm going to read a little bit, Patrick, of this open letter that I got from the president of business operations for the Washington Nationals. His name is Jason Sanarajan, if I said that right. Yeah. Sorry. Sanarajan. If I said that wrong, Jason, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna read this paragraph real quick. Or a couple of paragraphs, and I'll try to be quick with it. While we did our best in the past months to advise fans of preparing for changes taking place for this season's broadcast, specific channel locations and distributor information were not available until the morning of our first game. We know that's not ideal for planning purposes, so we want to make sure that we get you all the right information to be able to watch the Washington Nationals. Here's the key part. Nationals TV is widely distributed on cable and satellite in our home television territory, which includes Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, by major distributors such as Charter Spectrum, Comcast Xfinity, Cox, DirecTV, and Verizon Fios. If you are told that Nationals TV isn't available on these platforms, it's simply not true. This is directing from the email. He said, however, it may require a change to your cable or satellite package. The exact channel information can be found at nationals.com/watch. So what I had to do, Patrick, was go to this nationals.com/watch. And then it gives you an option to put in your area code and not area code, my bad, zip code, and then your cable provider. And then bam, it tells you the channel. Sure enough, here it is. And I could watch the Nats games. So I say all that to get away from all the gray area where it is, because for whatever reason, the process of having Major League Baseball produce a lot of these games for these teams has become really, really flawed. And now there's a lot of people who don't know how to check it out. And before they know it, they do the thing with the subscription that we were talking about. Pay $19.99 per month to see the team, or just pay it all one lump sum, which comes out to be around $200. No. Check with your cable provider and check with your team, because I mean, this dude, I mean, the president of business over here for the Nats, he's like, man, this ain't true. Yo, go ahead, with your cable provider and watch us.
Well, here's the thing: baseball doesn't have a leg to stand on by blacking out games. They're already in a downfall of on their market, even having people watch it anyway. I mean, look, dude, I'm a huge baseball fan, and I can tell you right now, if I'm watching baseball, I'm watching college. You know what I mean? I might go and check in and see, a couple of games here and there. But I mean, am I watching a whole MLB game? Not typically. I would prefer to watch a full college baseball game.
I think that's pretty much where we're at with.
But to be honest with you, that's where a lot of people are at. I mean, it's just minus football. You're seeing a lot of people just really stay into the college. I mean, look at everybody in the South. We watch college football. We watch college baseball. We watch college basketball. Some people watch college hockey. And that's your four major sports, right? But hockey doesn't really promote to gain new following. They're quite happy with where they're at. Baseball got its loyal following, but it's quickly dwindling. Basketball is probably one of the hardest sports to watch out of all four of them. And as long as LeBron James is on there, nobody's going to watch that crap. That's just stupid TV at that point. And football is probably your most heavily watched, but it's also more of your fair weather fans. Let's buy a ticket. If you're in Miami, let's buy a ticket because they ain't no parties to go to. Let's go watch the Dolphins get their butts whipped.
And they're not there for the whole game.
And they're not even there for the whole game. And now the Dolphins crap is all in Atlanta. So Atlanta's your next team that's everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, let's just go to Atlanta Falcons game and watch that bull crap for an hour and 50 minutes, and then we'll just bounce out and go somewhere else.
Aaron said, fair weather fans for football at what?
Well, you have more fair weather fans in football than you do any other sport, because the other sports are just unbearable to watch.
Oh, Aaron, they're out there. Look, try staying in Dallas, Fort Worth, and seeing all these fair weather Cowboys fans who claim they're going to chip after every win and then want to fire everybody after every loss. So,
there's only a couple of loyal programs out there. Chicago Bears, Buffalo,
the Packers.
I mean, there's only a few of them out there. Everybody else is.
The Steelers are pretty loyal too,
yeah.
But the Steelers are pretty loyal.
But there's only a few of them out there. I mean,
where my Eagles fans at? Fly, Eagles, fly! Yeah! Look.
yeah, fly Eagles fly, and then now they get the tush push pulled away, and then I don't even want to watch football anymore.
He said, "Hi, Aaron." He said they all proclaim all in without directing to the orifice they desire. Aaron, don't work on getting us canceled like last week.
Nah, go ahead, dude.
You like, go ahead.
It's fine.
I mean, shoot.
Hey, look, dude. Rooted Amigo was on a while ago or last week. So, what was his name?
Rooted Vegetable.
Rooted Vegetable. That's who it was. He was on last week, and nothing happened there. So I think we're good. Rooted Amigo. Where did that even come from?
I said,
wow, I was way off. That dude hated me. I don't even know why.
When you said that, I said, Rooted. Oh, you talking about Rooted Vegetable. But
whoever it was.
But Aaron, great quote. Great comment. And you're right.
Dude, we're gonna create a all quote from our watchers, and Aaron's gonna own the first episode.
Yes. Keep them coming too. Keep them coming. But no, yeah. I mean, the gray area with baseball, because I don't understand, especially now when you're at a good point. We'll see what happens because, of course, the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, is about to expire after this season, and we talked about how that looks like a lockout coming in as soon as it expires. But this is a time where baseball is starting to pick up some popularity here, and you came off of a exciting World Series from last year with the Dodgers and Blue Jays. I would think you would want to make baseball as accessible as possible to your fans. I get it. The regional sports networks, your RSNs, have kind of gone away. They're kind of non-existent. I believe FanDuel is doing what they can to pick up some of them because, of course, they were Bally Sports, and then FanDuel picked up a few of them. But the other ones are on MLB TV. So I would think you would want to tell the people who are in your communities, in your cities where you have these teams at, where you could catch them. It should look good on Jason over here, the business operations president for the Nats, to get on there and say that. He shouldn't have to do that. MLB should take care of that, especially if they're the ones who are producing the games.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's their viewers. That's their viewership that they need to push their product. You would think that they are trying to push that product, but like you said, it shouldn't take somebody from wherever to say anything about it. But here we are, and maybe that's MLB just trying to push their product a little more as far as their streaming. But I mean, look. You might want to bring your fans back first before you start trying to nickel and dime them all before they even come back. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to buy it at all. I would never buy that.
No, I had no plans on buying that. I'll just catch whatever games come on, whatever the network is. I think NBC's going to have games this year. Netflix has a few. Of course, Fox has some. I don't know what ESPN is doing. I don't know if they're still part of it. Well, ESPN got a partnership with ESPN's trying to buy everything up, though.
Yeah, I mean, eventually that's going to be their downfall. Buying everything is going to be their downfall.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah,
and then you have some of the regional ones. I mean, and here's another thing: if you have the MLB Ballpark app, you go to one of these games and you automatically become a newsletter recipient, basically. And so it happened with the Nats. I get the Orioles stuff too, because I went to a game in Baltimore last year. And so you get all the happenings that are going on. So if somebody like the general manager or the business president, the business operations president sends something out, we're going to see it. So if I didn't go to Nats games, and I don't go to them regularly, but I mean, I go to a few every now and again. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known that. I'd still be trying to search for the Nats if I wanted to watch the game, and then trying to go on whatever streaming service to try to catch it. But I was able to find it, and because they told me where to go. And I just think it's just I just think it's garbage. I think it's garbage how MLB has handled this, really sloppy. And like you said, Patrick, if you are dedicated to your fans, like you want to tell everybody you are, it should not take the representatives of the teams in the league to send this notice out about where to catch the teams.
And then you also got, and now you're starting to get a lot of direct competition, because how football has that direct competition with the XFL and stuff like that. Banana Ball is making a huge push on a lot of that stuff. So, if they decide that they're going to purchase a channel where you can watch all of those games on it, you can bet your sweet ass they're going to make sure you can see all the games, because who is the guy that started? What's his name?
Who started the Savannah Bananas?
Just Banana Ball.
That I don't know, but I can tell you the announcer has a radio show of his own now. So they're blown up. Drake Toll is his name. So he has a radio show on the new on the Westwood One Sports Network.
His name is Jesse Cole.
Jesse Cole. All right.
Yeah. So Jesse Cole is the guy that started Banana Ball, and he is all about the fans. Yeah, that's his thing. It's about the fans. I mean, like, you go to a game and you don't even pay taxes on any of the stuff. They flip the bill for the taxes on all the merchandise that you buy. That's crazy. I mean, that's millions of dollars that they lose every year because they are about the fans opposed to about the money. And man, I'm going to tell you, that's going to be something big that they're going to have to take note of, or it's going to be something that they're going to have a problem with. I haven't read it last two. Hold on.
Yeah. So, while you're reading the comments, yeah.
Yeah, right.
While you're reading the comments, I'm going to say
the other J. Cole.
I used to work, and you know this, Patrick. I used to work in Frisco when I was living down in Dallas, Fort Worth. I worked at the AA affiliate for the Texas Rangers, their stadium, the Frisco Rough Riders, and the Savannah Bananas actually came there. This is back in 2017 or 18 when they were just now starting to take off. That was one of the funnest nights I had, just like working there, being in the team store and looking at how excited everybody was for them. But everybody was also, they were curious, they were enjoying it, but then they were like, goodness, how long can this last? And here they are on ESPN with all their games being shown. And again, the announcer for them, Drake Toll, he has his own radio. Yeah. So, I mean, they've taken off a long way from even then when they were just getting stuff started and going to the AA parks. Now they're selling out Major League parks.
Yeah. I mean, selling them out in hours.
Yeah.
If not faster.
Aaron, keep them coming. I love your comment about he said Washington needs a team called the Mosquitoes, the Nats, the Mosquitoes, Buzz. That's what it's the root. It's the rooted vegetable breaking into Pat's house.
No, it might be. Dogs keep barking and fighting over everything. It's Luna. Luna is our Australian Shepherd, and she likes to bite on our little Yorkie. And I think she's trying to eat her. I don't know, but it's sometimes it gets annoying, and you're like, oh my god, just stop it. And then she looks at you with the biggest smile, thinking like it's the best part of her day is to eat on our little dog.
Here's the let's talk about the ABS system here.
Oh god, dude.
So I'm gonna bring it up like this, Patrick. So of course they got the automated ball strike challenge system going. So on I think this was Sunday. Yep, Sunday. There's a game going on between the Minnesota Twins. They're in Baltimore to take on the Orioles, and it was the top of the ninth. Orioles are up 8-6. What happened was there was a call, a questionable strike, ball, whatever the case. And the Orioles closer, Ryan Helsley, called for a challenge. The manager for the Twins erupted after the challenge, Derek Shelton. He erupted, but here's why he erupted. So apparently, and this is not really specified in MLB's rules in terms of when you have to get the challenge in. But apparently, when the Orioles pitcher, when he made the challenge, maybe the umpire didn't see it. So all of a sudden, he made the challenge again, made the motion, the little tap. And
is that when he ran, when he was thinking it was ball four, it was at the team where he ran down and he was like jumping up and so there's a rule that I guess it's kind of unspoken, I guess, but the rule I guess the unspoken rule states that you're supposed to make the call in the batter's box. So look, once you come out of the batter's box, you're forfeiting your right to have that as a call. And which now I agree with, because like if you're going to put that in, then especially with an ABS rule like that, then you're going to have to state that there is a time where that opportunity is closed off. But I think it should be, if it is a ball four or a strike three, once you come out of the batter's box, you're forfeiting your right to make that call.
Yeah. So and to, I guess this is a quote here from Shelton, and he had said, I don't think Helsley tapped his hat quick enough. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but I didn't feel he did. I feel it's got to be something that's within 3 seconds. And I didn't think it was there, but the umpiring crew thought it was. So those rules, so it states, and again, this isn't like, I guess you could throw it in that gray area, whatever the case, but it states that challenges need to be made, quote unquote, immediately by either the batter, pitcher, or catcher. And the challenge is made by tapping the player's hat or helmet. Umpires can decline a challenge if it is, quote unquote, not requested in a timely manner, or if umpires determine, quote unquote, that the player's decision to challenge was aided by anyone else. So then, yeah,
there's so much gray area with the whole ABS system, dude. There's so much gray area, and look, you can sit here and look. Everybody's going to debate it for probably the next 3 or 4 years. Yeah. Definitely for the next 3 or 4 years, but forever, absolutely. Everybody's gonna be, oh, well, you need to change this rule or you need to change that rule. But it's simply stated is this. There's only 3 people that can call it: pitcher, catcher, batter. That's it, right? Don't complicate it any more than that by saying managers can have the opportunity to do it or this, that, or whatever, right? But I can tell you managers should have the opportunity by telling the pitchers, like, to shut their mouth. Like, let the catcher and the batter make that call. Especially like when you deal with these pitchers that like to hop all over the place, like when they throw the ball and it looks like a strike, but it looks like it's a ball if you look on it like this. But if you look at it like this, Yeah, it's going to go across the plate. So those pitchers that are coming around here, that angle is going to give them that strike look. So be honest with you, I've been looking at pitchers and be like, shut your mouth, like you don't ever call anything. But let the batters and the catchers call it, right? And if you're going to put it in and you're going to make a time like a time situation, like we already implemented the pitch count, the pitch clock, right? The pitch clock starts as soon as the pitcher gets the ball back, right? You got 2 seconds. You better make that call. Catch it. Like a lot of batters can see, like as soon as that catcher catches the ball, they are going to see if that's a strike or a ball. Call it then, right? But if you exit out of the batter's box, you're forfeiting that right to challenge that pitch. Like there has to be some sort of threshold that says you can't do that anymore. Like you cannot challenge that. You already stepped out of the batter's box. You forfeited that ability to make that call, right? Now on a I guess when you look at it from that stance, that like the only rule that I really agree with 100% right now with the whole ABS is the fact that certain like if you bring a shortstop in to pitch, he can't make a call. It's only the batter and the catcher. My personal opinion, I don't think a pitcher should ever have that right to make that call. I think it should be the batter or the catcher. But I do understand, within the whole scope of it, you give that pitcher the ability to make that call. Because it would be hard for me to say, Chris Sale, don't make that call. Or Justin Verlander, keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Those type of pitchers that I really do trust because they have had so much longevity within, just MLB altogether. It's hard to tell them. But then there's certain pitchers where you just be like, you need to keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? But I mean, dude, they're going to be debating this for the next 50 years, like you said, forever. And rules are going to change 500 times before anybody even sets in. And by then we should have robots as umpires and all that stuff.
Aaron, so he had about 5 comments. All right, got it. So I'll just read them rapid fire here. He says, so this is so great for baseball. He said, I really wish the NFL.
Question before you finish that, Aaron, are you meaning that for real or do you mean that sarcastically? Because
looks like
I'm about 50-50 on it right now. I think it's great because it does hold the umpires accountable for their calls. But like I do have
because he's got other comments that's kind of going into your question. So he said, so this is so great for baseball. I really wish the NFL would let coaches challenge inside 2 minutes like baseball can do in the ninth. And then he says, but this is great for baseball on a marketing standpoint because it gives people a reason to watch every pitch and gives the players the power to overrule the bad calls. I can't tell you how much I love this. It's free marketing.
So this is something that you truly do agree with. With that being said, totally respect it 100%. I don't agree with it 100% yet, but I do feel over the next couple of years as they refine the rules on how ABS really is going to affect the game, I think it'll be much better. I mean, even with last year to this year, they've kind of put in a few little extra rules for pitch clocks, and I feel is really vital to the whole situation because that allows the game to move forward. And I really don't like the ABS system as of right now because it does counterintuit the whole pitch clock system. But they're going to work it in, and I do feel like it's going to be something that is going to be needed for baseball. But the first year is always the hardest year. Players has got to understand why it's doing it. Managers got to learn how to manage to it. Catchers have to learn how to catch to it. I mean, you're even starting to see the catchers holding their frames a lot less. Even when I coach it, I always coach to holding it for 2 seconds. Now we're looking at about a second to a second and a half for your framing, then you throw it back because you want to give that pitcher enough time to walk around the mound, gather himself, wipe off the sweat if you're in the later innings and stuff like that. You really want to give them that amount of time to do all of that. So you're starting to see the catchers adapt to it. You're seeing the batters adapt to it, and you're seeing the pitchers adapt to it a lot better. And you're seeing the managers manage to it a lot better this year. It's already looking better than it did last year. But I think the ABS overall in the next 2 years, it'll probably be great for baseball, and they'll be able to market it better. Because like you said, Aaron, now you're having to watch every pitch because even if it's off just that 0.1 and that ball doesn't touch that line, and all it has to do is touch it. But if it doesn't touch it, that's a ball. And I like it. I mean, it holds the umpires accountable. So I do like it from that standpoint as well.
Is there anywhere, because I haven't read the complete rules on the ABS system, but is there a number? What's the number? How many times can the pitcher tap his helmet or the catcher?
So they're experimenting with it as it stands right now. I think you can only do it twice, and if you miss it, then you lose your opportunity.
Okay.
But I think so. As it stands right now, so the rule says each team starts the game with 2 challenges. However, if the game goes into extra innings, any team that is out of challenges will receive 1 more per inning in extra innings. If a team still has challenges remaining in the extra innings, then it does not receive a second challenge. For any extra inning, each team will have 1 challenge available. So they're not even saying you get 2. So they're not even saying if you get it right, you get to keep going. So in spring training, it was you tap it. If you got it right, you got another one. If you tapped it again, you got it right, you got another one. If you tapped it again, you got it right, you got another one. But if you missed, you lose them for the rest of the game and you got no more. So they're saying you get 2. That's it. So you got to challenge it right. And and I can respect that a lot more than a lot of other ways that they were trying to do it. But you get 2 for the first 9 innings, and then you get 1 for each inning after that in extra innings.
And the manager, so I mean, he still has, I guess, his 2 challenges. So if
I'm sorry, I didn't read far enough. Successful challenges are retained, meaning that the team only loses its challenge if the umpire's original call was confirmed. Because challenges are limited, teams will have a strategy involved of saving them. When position players are pitching, challenges are not allowed. So that's what I was saying earlier. So like when the shortstop comes in to pitch, he's not allowed to call those. Only pitchers, catchers, and batters. No position players.
And the manager, so I guess he still has the other 2 challenges that would go to other plays, like a stolen base,
or anything like that, but he cannot call balls and strikes.
Okay, all right. So I mean, yeah, I'll wait. I don't really have a judgment on it one way or the other. I think. I just don't want. I don't want the games to get to where everything is just being challenged. I don't want it to get there. I can understand if you have a few challenges here and a few challenges there, but on every questionable call, are we just gonna sit here and challenge it? For the ABS, it looks a little borderline. Tap the helmet. I just feel like there's got to be some sort of a flow to the game. And
I think there will be. I do think there will be, because I like this for the simple reason, and it's really just the one reason is now if an umpire calls a ball, or let's say they call a strike, right? And I'll tell you, catching is an art form. Working the bottom of that end zone and pulling those and stealing those strikes that could be called balls because of that, I think that's an art. So I don't want to take that part away from baseball, but I mean, when a catcher literally like jumps, catches the ball up here, and comes back down and frames it, and he's like, right now, we need to make sure he's knowing what he's doing. Yet tap your helmet, because that's a BS call. You know what I mean? Let's keep the game fair, but let's keep it moving, right? I will say this, like, they'll have to refine this a lot, because like you said, if everything's going to get challenged, then the game is then going to start getting longer again, which is my concern, as far as like you're implementing all this other stuff to speed up the game, and now you're implementing something to slow it back down. I get it. I understand. I would have implemented ABS opposed to the shift. I still don't agree with the shift. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that ABS will bring to the game, but it's going to take a couple of years for them to adapt to it and pull it into the game. But you know, baseball is going to be flirting with that whole challenge thing now, because there's so many challenges now. You get 2 challenges here, you got 2 challenges over there. How many more are we going to get in the 9th inning, 10th inning, 11th inning, 12th inning? You know, if games, you know, go that long, it could go south really fast. But as long as they're watching it and they maneuver around it very delicately, I think it's a great addition to the game. Just don't get carried away with
it. Right. And yeah, and that's the concern. I mean, I know ultimately you want to get the call right. You want to make sure things are as accurate as possible. But the borderline stuff, I mean, there's a lot of plays. There's a good amount of plays in pretty much every one of these games where there's a lot of borderline stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be challenging every borderline call, then yeah, you're going to start getting to 4-hour games. You're going to start getting into Red Sox territory.
500 times. Oh, dude, that's just your left one.
Well,
and then you're at your crotch.
Well, so before we head on now, we still have a few minutes left, but I wanted to bring this up real quick because I seen on NBC, so college basketball had ended for the day, and the Final Four was already determined. And while I was going back and forth doing some channel surfing, if they still use that term, I went to NBC and they were showing the New York Knicks playing the OKC Thunder. And what I saw was Tracy McGrady, who's part of the crew. Let's see, Maria Taylor is the host, and then you have Carmelo Anthony, T-Mac, and Vince Carter on the crew. They showed a clip where T-Mac and I think it was Carmelo Anthony talking to Karl-Anthony Towns and basically saying, hey, you need to be assertive. You need to do this. You need to do that. Now, first of all, Patrick, how many times have you heard this about Karl-Anthony Towns? Every time, it seems like every single season, everybody, name the analyst, could be Shaquille O'Neal, could be Charles Barkley, T-Mac, Vince Carter, whoever's on Amazon, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, Dwayne Wade, whoever. But how many times have we heard Karl-Anthony Towns needs to be more assertive? Listen, at some point, there has to be some sort of self-motivation there for Karl-Anthony Towns to want to become that assertive guy. He's on the Knicks. The Knicks, I don't think they're going to win a title, but they have a shot to win a title. A shot.
Well, everybody has a shot at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. So, as I said, I don't think the Knicks are going to do it, but if the Knicks are going to get to that level or have a chance to get to that level, it's been widely said by everybody. I mean, everybody who's in the basketball landscape, people who cover the sport, Karl-Anthony Towns has to be more assertive. He has to want the ball in the post. He has to become that 25-point, 13-rebound guy. Well, he has to want it for himself. If he doesn't want it for himself, I don't care if Tracy McGrady comes up and starts talking to him before warmups. I don't care if Karl-Anthony Towns is sitting on a post-game interview with the inside the NBA guys and Shaq is over here saying you need to dominate. I don't care. None of that matters. If Karl-Anthony Towns, if Cat, the person, the player, does not want that for himself, it's not happening. I don't care what everyone else continues to say. That's just like anything that we're doing, Patrick. You're over here, you're trying to build bro epic. I'm trying to build both of sports. If you, or vice versa, have to tell me, hey, Charles, you need to get off your ass and do this. Or if I have to do the same thing for you, there's a problem with us. And we need to go ahead and figure that out on our own. It's cool to have that motivating factor. It's cool to have somebody who's trying to push it a little bit. But if we don't have it within ourselves, it ain't happening. And that's what has to come with Karl-Anthony Towns.
Well, I mean, he's had it before. He wouldn't be where he's at if he didn't have it of some sort. But you know how it is when it comes to Major League Sports. Once you make it, unless you are just live or die that sport, you normally calm down a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the reason why, again, here we are talking about college sports again. There's a reason why we love college sports so much. It's because, now, don't get me wrong, these boys are playing for money now, but at a certain sense, it's like it's still not as much as you could make in the NFL or NBA or MLB or wherever, right? So in college, those boys still have something to play for. There's still a love for that sport there. But by the time you get to the NBA or the MLB or NFL, whatever, you tend to start dying off for that love because now it's a job. You're right. And I mean, it's just, it's hard for people to sit and point out everything that he needs to do.
See ya, Aaron.
Thanks,
man. Appreciate it.
It's hard to sit here and point out all the things he needs to do when they're sitting on the comfiness of their chair or their couch. Now, granted, I know most of these people have already played their sport and they're done and they've retired and they're good where they're at. Okay, well, that's fine. But he's not that type of person. I mean, even in college, dude, he really wasn't that type of person. He never really played like that. And you're thinking that he's all of a sudden now going to come to in the NBA and now all of a sudden he's just going to change his mentality and he's going to start being more assertive. Look, he's a big dude. I get it. He probably should be a little more assertive so that he can win a championship. But you know what? He's probably happy with his $30 million a year. So let him be. If he doesn't want to be assertive, don't be assertive, Cat. Do you, bro. It don't matter. You can sit here and critique him all day long, but it's not going to change the way he is or who he's going to do. Now, this goes back onto your point. If that's what he wants, then that's self-motivation. Now, he's got to be the one that wants to be assertive. But everybody else, dude, just stop. If he's not going to do it, he's not going to do it. And just because you're saying he needs to doesn't mean he's going to wake up and go, maybe I'll do what Shaq told me to do today. And come on, let it be.
And Patrick, full disclosure, because we've had this discussion about Cap before, and we've said these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got to be more assertive. Yeah,
if he wants to win, he's got to be more assertive. But we're not sitting here saying you got to go out there and be assertive. Dude, I could care less if you're assertive. You're not playing for the Hawks. Be who you want to be, bro.
He got to be whatever it is the Knicks need from him. Now, that's something he has to understand himself.
And it may not be assertiveness. It may be balance and delicacy. I don't know. Maybe he's got to whisper sweet nothings in everybody's ears to get them going. I don't know. All I'm saying is, like you said, he has to be whatever the Knicks need him to be that night. Do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not assertiveness, don't be assertive.
Yeah, whatever it takes for them to get close. to winning a championship or perhaps winning a championship. If that means he does have to get up to 25, 13, cool. If that means he has to be a better defender, cool.
Do that.
But the whole, I mean, when I saw that clip, Patrick, the clip, I had it on NBC. I was watching a little bit of the game, and I see T-Mac just basically just, I guess, trying to give him a pep talk, sitting here like pointing at him, like, yo, you gotta want that. You gotta go ahead and you gotta be assertive. Like, stop talking. Just stop talking with them right now. Like, I mean, and I'm sure Cat hears that all the time. Of course he does, especially in New York. You're gonna hear it all the time. You're definitely gonna hear it all the time in New York,
dude. In that area, in that whole region, you're gonna hear it.
Yeah.
So, like Boston fans are probably like, "No, man, just be all pansy like."
Yeah. But he just has to. He just has to be whatever, like you said, whatever the team needs him to be for that night. And if that puts them closer to a title, cool. If not, then he has to be able to make those adjustments. But it all starts with him. It all starts with him understanding that. And nobody else is as much as we want to say we have the secret sauce when it comes to these pep talks and speaking knowledge into the earth and acting like we're the gospel. We're not. Y'all, like, get over yourselves. Let's get over ourselves. We ain't the gospel like that. I mean, we try to be logical. All we do, like when we get on this show, we just try to be logical about how things are going. We do have some life experience, but our experiences aren't everybody else's. And everything is different. And I think we're willing to understand what worked for us or what we want or what we're trying to work towards. That's not going to work for everybody. And we understand that.
Yep.
But there are a lot of people who want to say, you got to do it this way, or it's just not going to work. And that's simply not true. There are multiple ways to have things work out for you. You just have to be willing to look for those multiple ways.
Yep.
And so with that,
with that, I just got to say one thing. How about them Hawks?
Hey, the Hawks they rolling.
Yeah, the Hawks. I'm sitting here before all of those trades. I was sitting here going. Now, after all those trades and they're winning, I'm like,
well. So real quick, Patrick, we'll see how this develops. But I think now the Hawks, more than they have maybe since they went to the Eastern Conference Finals back in 2021, I think they have a little bit more of a direction now. They have their players, young players, they want to build around. And they're rolling with those. And at least for now, it doesn't seem like they want to mess with that chemistry too much. They want this group to grow together. They'll make some here and there moves for depth purposes. Maybe they need a 3-point shooter. They could get that guy on there. Maybe they need another defender. They can get that guy through free agency or perhaps the draft. But it looks like right now they finally have a direction. And look, they had to move Trae Young. All right, they go right, because the other guys who are on there, they weren't really gonna grow a whole bunch with Trae Young hogging the ball. And I'm not trying to hate on Trae Young, but we
wouldn't be where we're at without him.
Yeah,
it's like I always say, every hire is a great hire. Every one of them. It doesn't matter who it is. Every hire is a great hire. Because you're going to find things that you like and you're going to find things that you don't like.
But at this point, I mean, he was a player that was he was stunting growth. I mean, you have the other young players who were there who really couldn't blossom. They couldn't find their way onto the team or a good fit with the team with Trae Young being there, because he was going to hog the ball. He was going to kind of, like, everything was going to run through him. And you got all these other guys who they're just trying to find their way. They're just kind of floating around, kind of the LeBron effect all them years. Well, with that, what's coming up for Bro Epic?
Well, we had a great event on Saturday, Ultimate Frisbee tournament with a great group of Christian people. So those shows are probably going to be coming out sometime this week. So I got to get those. I got to get those edited, and then me and Brantley is about to start season 5 of Parent First, or Me versus Him, but beach episodes. So we got that coming up.
Patrick, remember,
he's going down, bro.
He's going down. Calm delivery.
He ain't in here, but he's going down.
And for both with sports, again, we're working on the interview list. So again, let's look out for those shows coming up in the summer. And a couple of, here's a fall preliminary plan. And we had talked about this. You and I have talked about this yesterday, as a matter of fact. Maybe a Saturday show during football season, during college football season will come, where we're sitting there, we're going through the games, we're watching the games, we're chilling at home or wherever, and we're watching the games, and we'll just go ahead and stream it and watch the games with y'all. So you want to come on through, holler at us on the comments, then please come on by, and that will be a good way for us to just interact a little bit more with the fans and people who have commented on here. We think that might be a good way to get out and talk with y'all directly. So the preliminary plans, we'll have more details about that as they come and as the season gets closer. Other than that, that will conclude this edition of the Both with Sports webcast, and that is what we are breathing on for this evening. Y'all make sure y'all visit the Both with Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the Both with Sports Facebook page. Aaron, once again, thanks for coming on and bringing the energy like you always do. And for everybody else who is watching, thanks for tuning in. Everybody have a great rest of the week, and we will see you at this same time next week. Take care.
And go Dogs.